Charged for murder.
I never put my hands on him again.
This is 37-year-old Nicole Woodard. Just 48 hours ago, police discovered her husband, Daniel Rayburn, brutally beaten and deceased in the yard of his own home.
Damn.
Neighbors said that they heard some subjects arguing and possibly one gunshot last night.
At first, detectives believed this tragedy was the result of a robbery, but they would be horribly wrong. As the weeks-long investigation began, detectives would uncover a toxic relationship and a twisted conspiracy with Nicole at the very center of it all.
Whose DNA is going to be on that gun? Now's the time you need to tell me, because there's not going to be another opportunity.
On July 4th, officers in Dublin, Georgia received a disturbing call. A passing motorcyclist reported seeing a motionless body on the front lawn of a nearby house and urgently requested a welfare check. When first responders arrived at the scene, it quickly became clear the man was already beyond saving.
Damn.
How y'all doing?
The blood come across his arm right there. He's laying like somebody, he was attacked or shot or something.
As first responders took a closer look, the disturbing condition of the man's body became clear. His skin was covered in bruises, insects crawled across his face, and most troubling, a gunshot wound was clearly visible at the back of his head.
How long you think he was there for then? There's bugs crawling in this shit? Damn. What the fuck?
Even more telling was the stiffness of his body, clearly indicating he'd been dead for several hours. To the officers on scene, one thing was immediately clear. This was a homicide, and they needed to figure out who this man was and why he was so brutally killed. Luckily, it wouldn't take long before officers began uncovering crucial details.
Do we even know we don't know his name, do we?
Yeah, we ran it. That's as far as that.
Okay.
We haven't positively identified him.
26 radio. Off that 28 that was ran at this location, who would come back to?
26 that come back to a Daniel Rayburn. That one, it has Eagles Mobile Park address.
The victim was quickly identified as Daniel Rayburn, a 40-year-old father and the homeowner himself. With this in mind, officers would approach Daniel's neighbors, who would reveal information that would prove crucial to solving this case later on.
Hey, Robert Hertzberg from Shark Tank. I'm a huge fan. Hey, what is your #1 tip for saving money? Easy. Pay off your credit card debt.
26 radio 09 to clear.
I'm so sorry. Have y'all been home all day?
All day.
Been to the grocery store. Have y'all heard anything over there? No.
Like today?
Does he live by himself, or do you know?
A lady lives there.
There's a man deceased in her yard.
He what? Yard?
Yeah, he's dead right there.
In her yard?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Is he black? My daughter said she heard somebody arguing last night.
Last night?
He said, who you calling? Call me another one. And she said, Mama, it wasn't firecrackers. She said it was a gun.
Come here. You see his body?
Oh, talking about right here near the front? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This
lady lives there with him. I mean, she can't. That's the same lady that came. Her name is Nicole.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Is she younger, older? Or?
She's younger than us. So I'm 43, so she might be in her early 30s, early to mid 30s. Oh, my God. Who found him?
Some passerbys just come by. He's been there for a while. Neighbor across the road heard some arguments over here, and about 1 a.m. heard one shot. There's supposed to be a female that resides here by the name of Nicole. White female.
You know,
to see if she's inside.
Yes, we'll knock on the door and then see if it's unlocked. We can stick and we do a welfare check.
Officers didn't know who Nicole was yet, but she would become a very familiar figure over the coming days. Without wasting any time, officers moved to search Daniel's home, and what they would find inside would soon blow the case wide open. But before we continue, it's worth noting that situations like these can be extremely distressing, not only for those directly involved, but also for anyone following
This gotta be an ad. Watch this, bro.
along at home, just like you. If you've ever felt that you need help with mental health, you should know that there are always people you can reach out to. That said, let's get back to the investigation. Officers were about to search Daniel's home, aware there could be another victim or even someone dangerous hiding inside.
There's the door locked. Unlocked.
All units radio is 10-3.
Police department.
Police department.
Police department. Alright, so female's gone. You got a female name? Where?
All we know is it's a white female by the name of Nicole. Yes. Right here.
Suitcase right there.
Nicole Woodard.
Fortunately for officers, the house turned out to be empty, with no visible signs of violence or struggle inside. However, they did uncover one crucial clue, a letter revealing Nicole's full identity. Brenda Lee Nicole Woodard, Daniel's wife. This discovery immediately opened up new leads for investigators, but officers were about to catch another clue. One of the paramedics on the scene would recall encountering a woman with the exact same name just hours earlier.
What y'all know about it?
I don't think the neighbors saying that they heard subjects arguing last night and a possible one gunshot.
Ain't see them here or?
Yeah, they said it's supposed to be a white female staying with them. First name by Nicole. We went in and cleared it. Nobody ain't in there, but it's a letter in there with her name on a piece of paper with Nicole Woodard on it.
That name, we just picked up a person at Applebee's with the same name. 30.
How you get called at Applebee's? What were you doing at Applebee's? You were just eating a nice fucking steak dinner after you killed your husband, bro.
7 years old.
Had a seizure, was throwing up.
According to the paramedic, 37-year-old Brenda Lee Nicole Woodard had been working at a nearby Applebee's when she suffered a seizure and was rushed to the ER earlier that.
Damn, that is tough. Hey man, you were supposed to get caught. Everything, that shit happened for a reason, for sure, bro. What the fuck?
Day. To detectives, this timing felt a little too convenient. Nicole's medical emergency occurred just hours after Daniel's brutal murder, potentially giving her an alibi to distance herself from the crime. If this was, in fact, Nicole's plan, it wouldn't work out very well. Officers were now able to easily locate her at the hospital and question her regarding the actions leading up.
Oh wait, she thought she was smart. She thought she was a genius. That was damn near a good idea if nobody found that body for a couple hours. Actually, I don't know. Because they can like figure out how long a body's been somewhere, so I don't know.
To Daniel's death. Since her injuries were minor, she was quickly transferred to the station for questioning.
Did he have any friends that came over to visit?
Once in a blue moon, we'd go over and hang out with Tim and Sylvia, but we hadn't seen them in a couple of months.
Other than that, you can't tell me anything else that you might know? Because he was out in the yard, when he was found in the yard this afternoon, before they called, about the time after they called you. He was found out in the yard.
Nobody called me.
I mean, how did they get in contact with you?
The officer showed up at the hospital
Well, I'm saying you got in contact with you at the hospital.
Oh.
Okay, so other than that, you hadn't seen him none before that?
I hadn't seen him at all today.
Even though Nicole insisted she had no idea what happened to Daniel that night,
She really thought that through. She thought that shit was gonna work, bruh. Like, I'm realizing this shit.
demeanor told the detective a different story. Her shaky voice and uneven answers indicated extreme nervousness. She seemed on edge, uncomfortable, and far from natural. These subtle cues could mean one of two things. Either Nicole was genuinely shocked to learn that Daniel was killed, or she was hiding something. This detective strongly suspected the latter and intended to find out exactly what Nicole was holding back.
And you don't know anybody that might have been he's had problems with or giving him problems, anything like that? No, how was he on the job? I mean, he had problems on the job, anything like that? That you know of? I mean, we don't know if anybody actually done anything to him or whether he might have just fell and passed out or whatever. That's why I asked you how much did he drink last night?
I don't know.
Well, you said you drank a bottle.
I was drinking last night.
What was he drinking?
He was drinking beer, sir.
Has he ever drunk alcohol to the point where he would fall out?
Yes, I told you. But he hadn't drank like that since. I mean, he might drink 2 or 3.
Well, if that's all, if that's it, you know, is there anything that you tell him?
According to Nicole, she and Daniel had been drinking the night before when a verbal argument escalated into a physical altercation. However, she still insisted that he was alive and well when she left. Ultimately, detectives weren't able to get any useful information from Nicole and had no choice but to let her go. However, unbeknownst to Nicole, this was only the beginning of a very long week.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do what.
Back at the crime scene, officers continued collecting evidence to determine who had been at the home at around 1 a.m. Now, with a search warrant in hand, officers moved into Daniel's home, hoping it would hold the evidence they desperately needed.
Go ahead and lock this door back.
I know the pastor out there, Danny, he said he's been counseling them. I guess they've been.
Oh, they've been having a problem, of course. He said that he told them that we do good. Looks like she cleared her stuff out.
Yeah, that's why I ain't seen no female stuff in there.
They got listed as leggings.
Oh, none was in here.
Well, it's got listed as.
But either way,
shorts and capris, leggings, comfort fits, pants.
Like I said, the place ain't tore, ain't no blood nowhere, except out there.
Unfortunately for officers, no evidence was found inside the home. With that in mind, officers expanded their search to the property outside, and that's when they made a critical discovery.
Where are these subtitles, bro? Is this like... Do they have this on the video, or is this me? Did I do this shit? Oh, I did. That shit's annoying.
Did I pick the dread?
Yeah. Not early.
Security James Summers about somebody trying to find some security with bottles.
Wait, what is it?
A severed dreadlock was found just feet away from where Daniel was killed. The hair clearly didn't match Daniel or Nicole's hair type, confirming that someone else besides Nicole was present that night. Detectives now needed to identify who this unknown person was and figure out if Nicole might know who he is. But while detectives were finishing up their search at Daniel's home, his family arrived at the scene and officers had to break the...
How the fuck he see it? How the fuck did he see a dreadlock in the dark? I would just think that shit was dirt or something, bro. How the fuck did he see that? That nigga is observant as hell. And man, she must have...
Tragic news.
Hello. How's it going? Right. Can I help y'all with something?
Yeah, this is my son.
Hey, Mr. Dan. How's it going? Going. You doing all right?
Yeah, I remember you, but I can't remember your name right now.
Matthew Allred. We had pacifier see somebody laying down, and they called me out here, and that's when I seen him. Was he married or anything?
He was living with a woman.
What was that woman's name?
Nicole Water. What to call Poison Beach. Excuse me.
What?
Although the family's comments about Nicole were somewhat vague, one thing became clear. Daniel and Nicole likely had a deeply troubled relationship, but suspicions alone weren't enough, and officers needed solid evidence if they were going to identify Daniel's killer. Before wrapping up for the day, investigators would review surveillance footage from the neighbors across the street and spotted Nicole leaving in her dad's car earlier that morning. Additionally, when police analyzed Nicole's phone records, they discovered that she had placed a call shortly before Daniel's murder. With suspicions now firmly centered on Nicole, investigators began questioning her acquaintances to find out what they knew about her troubled, deteriorating relationship with Daniel and potential involvement in his death. That's when they first heard the name Misty Edge, a friend of Nicole's who, as it turned out, had received a visit from her just hours after the murder.
Oh, hell no. You think Missy gonna snitch?
Just so her back up.
Missy finna snitch for sure.
They ain't gonna buy it, are they?
No, they ain't
Get 'em
gonna
up.
buy. I told John and them to come around. Hang on just a second.
Wait,
How are
she's
you?
letting them
I'm
in?
good.
This is Misty Edge, Nicole's friend and co-worker. She reached out to police claiming Nicole had shown up at her house early the previous morning, acting strangely and carrying several bags. When detectives arrived at Misty's house, they never expected the shocking details she was about to share.
Okay, well, she messaged me the other night. It was a room survey when I said that he had been beaten on her and stuff. She called me around 5 o'clock that morning. She said she was very confused, that she didn't know what was going on, that front door was open, that his car was still crunk, everything.
The front door was open?
Yeah. We come back and she felt she was still drunk. She fell asleep on the couch. And I really feel like she was coming off of something. You ain't just gonna sit here and make yourself shake for no reason.
Right.
I really feel like she was trying to hide something from me.
This description of Nicole's demeanor sounded eerily familiar to how she behaved in the interview room earlier. According to Misty, Nicole was visibly shaking, nervous, and clearly on edge, as if she was hiding something. Whatever Nicole had seen or knew clearly made her unstable, possibly explaining her sudden seizure and fainting earlier that day. But
why do these niggas be thinking this shit is a good idea though? Like to kill their partner and then like just hide like in plain sight. This shit is, you better get the fuck out of there if you're gonna do some shit like this.
detectives quickly realized was that Misty herself knew far more than she initially let on, and for reasons of her own, she decided to drop the biggest bombshell yet.
Let me ask you this, when did she tell you about Daniel?
She told me that she had made a phone call.
And what?
Get rid of that. She also said she wants him dead, but then she don't want him dead. She walks in my front door and was like, Misty, hit me in my eye. I said, what? Hit me in my eye. I said, no, I'm not doing that. Because that's not me. I don't have nothing. I have no record. No, I've been good my whole life. So no, that's not me. She said she needs an alibi.
Detectives now had a testimony supporting their suspicions that Nicole was at the house around the time Daniel was killed. Even worse, Nicole supposedly made some...
That's not your friend. That is not your friend. You thought y'all was closer than y'all really was. Y'all not close at all. That shit tough.
phone calls to, quote, take Daniel out. Not only had she likely witnessed the murder, but she may have even coordinated it. It was time to find Nicole. This time, there would be no walking away.
How are you?
Here.
The next day, investigators set up a meeting with Nicole at her sister's house, prepared to see just how much her story would hold up under pressure. The goal was to pressure her into revealing the names of the people she called that night, and what exactly she had told them.
All right, here's the deal. You know why we're here?
Yes, ma'am. Then, unfortunately, what are we here about? Daniel and him not being here anymore. And y'all suspect because of the fact that me and him have been fussing and fighting and stuff so much lately that I may have had something to do with it, and I swear I don't. I mean, I've told him...
Imagine you really don't have nothing to do with it and you being interrogated like this, bro. And, like, you really love that person. That shit will fuck me up. Like, I'd be mad as hell.
At times, yeah, you're gonna keep on beat your ass or some shit like that, but I swear I've never put my hands on him. The furthest I've done is I pushed him backwards. I've never put my hands on him, and I never would. He's the one that beat the crap out of me back in November. I was in Wings.
Although detectives hadn't openly accused Nicole of anything yet, she immediately began defending herself, almost as if she knew suspicion would inevitably fall on her. Her husband had just been brutally murdered, yet Nicole seemed less concerned with helping the investigation and more focused on clearing her name.
Has anything been physical since then?
No. I mean, we screamed and hollered at each other a little bit and sent some nasty messages back and forth. The thing with us, I mean, if we were not gurring at each other, there was something wrong.
As Nicole painted a harrowing picture of domestic abuse, her explanation seemed carefully chosen to cast Daniel.
She probably not lying, though. They probably was fighting for her. He probably was knocking her ass out, which made her do this, because ain't no way you just this evil.
in a negative light, almost as if she had hoped investigators would see her as the victim. And while parts of her story may indeed be true, detectives sensed that she was subtly deflecting blame and possibly laying the groundwork for a future legal defense. But investigators would see right through this tactic, and it only made them push harder to uncover what Nicole was really hiding.
Brady, how did he die? You just said, we fussing and fighting. I don't know.
But you just said just a second ago, you know, while we're here, you think we have to do with it.
I've been told 3 different things. I've been told he may have had a heart attack in the yard. I've been told he was beat up. And I've been told that they don't know what the hell happened, just that he was found in the yard.
Brandy, we know more.
I don't.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
It's like Brandy is stupid because they never even told her that he was shot. She's stupid. She got herself. I ain't gonna lie.
It's always better. And I know you talked to the detective the other day. It's true that things have changed, and we know some stuff that you did. We need you to come forward and tell the truth.
I've called and talked to people and stuff, and I've told them at times, I love him, I hate him, get me out of here, stuff like that, but I've never hurt him. I swear, I would never put my hands on him.
Listen to me. Look at me. Look at me. Like Sergeant Rose just told you, we know more. We want to hear your side.
And I'm telling y'all, I didn't
hurt
him. I did not touch him. I did not.
They did not mean to hurt him.
You know who did.
Let's be real here. This is a marketing ploy.
Brandy,
I'm going to keep annoying you
bitch.
to download my ad block, and then you're going to get so fed up seeing.
You did. And it's time for you to tell us who did this to him.
The stress was clearly getting to Nicole. Detectives made it obvious they knew she wasn't telling them everything, and the pressure was starting to show. Visibly nervous and beginning to break, Nicole was about to give detectives exactly what they came here for.
Bro.
I suspect that my foster brother may have had or adopted brother may have had something to do with it, because I did call them and I did ask them for help.
Bitch, you told him to kill him, and you gonna snitch on him? You bogus. What the fuck? You did this is because of you. You did this. Alright, bro.
Get me out of there.
Why do you suspect that he had something to do with it?
Because they've all said before, if he kept on hurting me, they were going to do something. And the last time that we had a fight, they come up, he bitched him out, and that was it.
Brandy, we know that you have made a phone call to somebody.
I called Tops, which is Hewlett Reed, and I asked him if he would come over and calm me down and stuff. And I called Andrew and Tom and told them to come over and find out what was going on. And Andrew and Tom said they couldn't get there anytime soon.
Why were you wanting them to come over there? What were you wanting them to take care of?
Not him, not like that. I swear, nothing like that.
That's what you just said.
I wanted them to calm him down.
What is that? Not like that. We know you said.
I didn't want them to hurt. No, I did not.
All right, so what?
This bitch is a horrible liar. This bitch is a Brandy, you stupid dumb bitch. You're fucking retarded.
Listen, there was camera footage across the street, so let's talk about it, okay?
I never saw anything happen. I heard him out there fussing and stuff, and then they left.
Listen to me. You know more about what happened.
I have my suspicions, but I don't want to accuse anybody of anything.
You know more about what happened. Now, you give us the runaround already.
No.
You have. And that points fingers at you. That raises red flags with you.
Nicole would finally loosen up a bit, giving detectives a couple of names. But that alone wasn't enough. Detectives still needed to find out who actually pulled the trigger.
What did you see and what did you hear?
I heard shouting, and I've heard all the fireworks and all that shit. That is all I've heard.
What kind of shouting?
You called something and ordered something on that phone.
What did I order? Because I haven't ordered anything.
Why do you think the guys would have come over there and done something?
Because he was being an asshole to me again. I just told him, I said, y'all just get him to stop. Y'all, I can't take it anymore. Y'all can get me. Y'all just get me out of here.
Don't you want justice for him?
Yes, that's why I'm telling you.
He was left laying in the yard.
This is what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the names that I have. Do I need a lawyer?
Despite Nicole bringing up her right to legal counsel, detectives weren't ready to give up yet and moved in closer, physically encircling her and increasing the pressure. And it's a good thing they did, because Nicole was seconds away from finally breaking down and confessing.
I called them and told them to come beat his ass. I was fucking tired of the bullshit.
Oh, man.
But I didn't think that they would do it. They've never done it before, and then I was scared.
Do y'all think is she lying? Dude, did she tell him to kill him, or did she probably, I don't know, bro.
And I didn't know that he was dead. I swear to God, I did not know that he was fucking dead. I did not.
You swear to, on God?
I thought that maybe they just fucking rubbed him up a little.
Breathe.
Maybe they just rubbed him up a little bit and they'd come in a little while. That's why I fucking stayed in the house. I figured he would come in and he'd be like, yeah, your brother fucking beat my ass.
I ain't gonna lie, the other niggas better have left the country at this point, cause ain't no way they just, I don't know, bro, or left the state, the county, something, bro. That's wild.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie, but I was scared. And they had already told me before that if they beat him up, they got told on I was in trouble. But like I said, they never did it before, and I've told him multiple times, y'all just gonna beat his ass. I'm fucking tired of it, and nobody ever did. The only thing that's ever happened was I ended up calling the cops.
Did you go out and check on him and make sure he was all right?
No, I did not.
It's not a
Did you see
single
him out
tear
in the
going
yard?
down
I
that
did
face.
not.
You're almost there. You got about 10-15% that you're not telling us of what happened after the fact.
No, I don't.
You got one or two more.
I promise I don't. None that I know of.
Just sit there and think about it.
Even if parts of Nicole's story were true, her overwhelming emotional reaction seemed driven more by panic and fear than genuine sorrow. And by now, detectives had everything they needed to move forward, and Nicole would be arrested and taken to prison. While officers had enough evidence for an arrest and were nearly certain of Brandalee's involvement in the murder, whether she had actually wanted Daniel dead remained unclear. To solve this, detectives now turned their attention to Thomas Harper and Andrew Huber, the two men Nicole claimed carried out the attack. Fortunately, locating them didn't take long, and due to their high likelihood of involvement, both men would be arrested immediately and questioned the very next day. During their arrest, police discovered a piece of clothing with blood stains at Andrew Huber's residence. After running a DNA test, this would prove to be Daniel's blood, confirming that Andrew was present that night, and he would be charged with murder. Still, there was one person left, and a final nail in the coffin for Nicole: her adopted brother, Thomas Harper. During his arrest, officers discovered a handgun along with 4 spent casings directly matching the bullet fired into Daniel's head. On top of that, the dreadlock found at the crime scene would turn out to be a direct match to Thomas himself. Neither Andrew nor Thomas ever claimed Nicole was outside during the fight. However, police could confirm that Nicole had seen Daniel leave and heard gunshots, yet she never checked on him and never called 911. Instead, she simply walked away, choosing to protect Andrew and Thomas. This, paired with Misty's disturbing witness statement and the phone logs confirming the timeline, was more than enough evidence for police. Nicole may not have pulled the trigger herself, but she set it all into motion. And because of her actions, Daniel was killed. In the end, justice caught up with all 3. Andrew Huber was convicted of felony murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Nicole and Thomas Harper both pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter, likely receiving sentences ranging anywhere from 10 to 20 years in prison for their roles in Daniel's brutal death.
Wait, why Andrew get more? Wait, I'm confused. Why did Andrew get more? The nigga had the gun. That was a good video, man. If you're gonna pretend you're crying, you need to figure out how to get water to come out of your facts. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Nicole, you're cooked, buddy. That's tough. Tough as hell.